Hello, everybody, and welcome to the JP Broadcasting Network for live coverage for the autumn season for sim racing for simpletons. It's round 1 of 9, and we are at one of the most famous tracks in the world in South America. It's the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache at Interlagos in Sao Paulo in Brazil. And you join us for the opening round out of 9. We're going to have a whistle-stop tour around some of the greatest circuits known in the world. So after this at Interlagos, next week we'll head to the Indianapolis Motor Speedway road course, then to the Red Bull Ring. A brief 1 week break, and then we go to Imola, Spa-Francorchamps, Donington Park, Hockenheim, Montreal, and to cap off the season on November the 23rd, we will head to Suzuka, the only Grade 1 FIA figure-of-8 circuit in the world. It's all our partners that have joined us from Track Racer, SimLab, Tamas Setup, Alex Goldschmidt, and in the booth. Jim, we've got ahead of us, but we've also got a very interesting, pretty packed field for these 2-litre turbocharged cars.
Yeah, man, I'm super excited to be here at Interlagos. You and I had the were fortunate enough to call a Super Formula Lights race earlier this afternoon, and it was fantastic action, and I can only hope that we see that kind of action here again this evening. Again, one of my absolute favorite circuits to drive in all the world. It is amazing. I don't have a lot of open wheel experience driving here, and after that Super Formula Lights race earlier today, it really makes me want to get out there in an open wheel car, and I am so excited to do these Super Formula cars because this is not something that is as common that you see on iRacing and especially broadcasted. So I just love the opportunity to do things that are a little bit different, and so this one really, really excites me.
Exactly. Apologies for the technical side on my end. I just had to go to my 5G hotspot. So 9 rounds on the calendar. Best 8 out of 9 scores will decide our autumn championship, which goes all the way through to November 23rd. You would have just seen the calendar on your screens, but we are 3 minutes in to this 10-minute qualifying session, and there's a who's who of the regular suspects, the likes of Elliot Court, the likes of Carson Keane, our resident Canadian doctor, and he is a doctor. He is qualified to be so. But we have probably the best part of over 25 drivers out for their 10-minute qualifying session. It's a solo qualifying session for each driver, which means no slipstream, no assistance. It is pure pace. These cars are the Super Formula 23, and they run with a 2-litre inline 4-cylinder turbocharged engine.
That car was so good looking. I forgot. That car was so good looking. I forgot I was on microphone. It popped on the screen and they did that close up, and I was like, golly. I realized that I was live on the mic. I forgot, man. That car is beautiful. Sorry.
Yeah. So no, it's all right. It's all right. So it's a 10-minute solo 4-lap qualifier. We've got 31 laps of this 4.3 kilometer circuit. We head to Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the road course variation, not the oval that you will see at the Indy 500 every May during the month of May at the Brickyard. Gabriel Hopp, another resident driver in sim racing for simpletons, has just gone top of the timesheets, 1 minute 14.965. We're due to have 26 drivers on the grid. We're currently with the 222, Kostek Solowij from Poland. He's currently running P4 ahead of Elliot Court. We're very, very close in terms of the top 17, rounded out by Frankie Brzezowski, and they are covered by just over a second in what is a very, very close qualifying session indeed.
Watch this lap right here.
9.
There it is.
Oh, and he's gone top. He's gone top by over a tenth and a half. And that is a 1 minute 14.799. But keep your eyes on Elliott Court. Purple in sectors 2 and 4. And he's just gone P2. Has the Brit. Jeff Groff has just gone up to P6. Carson Keane has dived into pit lane and has done 2 of his 4 laps. Still got a couple of drivers. Joshua Benjamin out at the moment in the number 78. Here's Gabriel Hop running in the Brazilian flag colours. I love that livery on that car.
Man, that
looks
beautiful.
Awesome.
Yeah, he just jumped back to the top of the board there with that run, with that lap.
Oh, crikey! That was by 35 thousandths of a second for the man from FNG Racing. So it is going to be best 8 out of 9 scores that will go towards the championship that will end at Suzuka on November 23rd. So Gonzalo Perez from Argentina and Elliot Rolls from the UK are both in the pit lane. Solowej has just gone purple in the final sector of the lap and has just done an 18.179. Anthony Zitch, another regular, has gone up to 16th ahead of Nick Dvornik. Christian Jasper in the triple 4 has completed his 4 laps in qualifying. But Royan Senna from Germany has just gone top of the timesheets by 1/1000ths of a second.
Wow, that
on
came
his
out
final
of nowhere.
lap qualifying. Yeah, just put it all together, and Gabriel Hopps responded. Oh, the Brazilian goes top by next to nothing. That's 59 thousandths of a second. He's just gone quicker by, and that is next to nothing when you consider how big the circuit is here at Interlagos. And we are waiting for a few more drivers to complete their 4 laps, so we will have an opportunity to have a little bit of a chin wag between myself and Jim. Just to let you know about the point scoring. Fastest lap will be 1 point. A win will give you 30 points. Max Shabley in the 007 car has just been given the mechanical black flag. That's one new thing that's happened in the recent week 13 update that we now can show you the following: mechanical black flags, or meatball flags as they're called. We've also got the black flag if they've sped in the pit lane or done something very naughty at the start. And also we have the good old yellow flag, which means that driver will get a slowdown penalty. So the scoring will be as follows: 30 points for a win, 24 for second, 21 for third, 19 points for fourth, and 17 for fifth. And we go all the way down to 15th, where the person in 15th place will score 1 point. But it looks like we have pretty much had all of the 25 drivers that have set a lap time, Jim. They are covered by 4.6 seconds, but from first to 22nd, which is rounded out by the number 78 of Joshua Benjamin, 1.85 seconds covers the top 22 in this opening qualifying session of the 9-round calendar.
Yeah, that's a reasonably close field there. It's going to be it'll be interesting to see how it shakes out. You got 1 or 2 guys at the bottom that were a little bit off the pace, and I believe we had looks like 2 drivers that did not put in a lap.
Gregorio is one of them.
Yes.
And Dakota Demaged, I think, is another one. I don't know how to pronounce that last surname. That's that's even tongue-tied me up tonight. But Gabriel Hop is the one that has decided to grab pole position.
Wow, but the way those guys were leapfrogging each other, man. I mean, there was 4. Let's see, it was. I guess it was 4 of them that just leapfrogged each other over and over again.
Yeah, I mean, that was really, really interesting, to be honest with you. Now, obviously, there is a push to pass, a bit like IndyCar, that these drivers have. So they have an extra 50 to 60 brake horsepower as the checkered is out for qualifying. So Gabriel Hop will secure the first pole position of the season. There is also the Simpleton Super Formula Championship Teams division as well, which at some point used to be the Simpleton's Cup in previous seasons. But here is your starting grid. Gabriel Hopp and Ryan Senna will be on the front row of the grid. Kostek Slovic and Elliot Court will be on row 2. Gonzalo Perez and Jeff Groff will be on row 3. João Itobarahi and Chris Sears round out row 4, and Max Shabley and Shade Bruffett round out your top 10. Carson Keane and Anthony Zitch round out row 6, ahead of Cole Willard and Elliot Rolls. Christian Jasper and Leo Delmas from France will round out row 8. Frankie Brzezowski and Sergei Podok will round out row 9. Jace Mayer and Nick Dvornik will round out the top 20. Sara Guerra, Joshua Benjamin, row 11. Richard Danielewski and Matt Alfredson round out the 12th row on the grid. Asan Fay and Dakota Demaged round out the 26 drivers due to start. João de Gregorio yet to ready up on the grid. But there is your pole sitter. The number 29 of Gabriel Hopp, running in that wonderful FNG Brazilian flag livery. That looks absolutely wonderful. Even has got the wonderful Honda logos on there as well. Of course, Honda and Toyota, the two main protagonists in the Super Formula Championship that goes in real life. Ryan Senna from Germany yet to ready up on the grid. We're coming up to just over 1 minute 40 of ready up time for the drivers. So the number 7 could possibly find himself on the exit of pit lane. And there's only a certain window of time before we have to go to the 5 red lights going out at the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache. Senna now goes on to the grid. The 5 red lights lights up here in Interlagos, and we're lights out and underway here for round 1 and 9 of Sim Racing for Simpletons autumn season 2025. And it's the 2 at the front of the field that make their way leading the field into the Senna S's. Jace Mayer might have gone very, very wide coming off of the opening corner, but Gabriel Hopp starts to lead the field away. Elliot Court has got a really good start. He's already up 2 places from 4th, but there's a big melee in the background through the Curva de Sol, and multiple cars involved, big bits of bodywork all over the shop.
Yeah, I believe that was Danielowski was involved in that.
Oh, the number 30, who started 23rd. It was like there was a chain reaction. It was a bit of pinball wizardry, in the words of Roger Daltrey and The Who. Elliot Rolls has had a big old drama as well. So has Frankie Brzezowski.
Oh, yeah.
And we've got cold tyres, cold brakes. Oh, dear.
Yeah, that's...
I think just judging by the way you said that, Jim, it's yes, we've had the big one. We're not at Daytona though. We're at Interlagos.
Let's see here. This
but Gabriel Hopp and Elliot Court
there's my famous for my slow.
Here we go. Your famous slow-mo. Let's have a look. So this is coming through out of Desida de Lago up the way to Ferradura at turn 6. Oh dear. Oh dear. And someone definitely. Elliot Rolls and Frankie Brzezowski now in pit lane. João de Gregorio has joined the server but has not exited pit road. But in the meantime, Gabriel Hopp and Elliot Court leading the way. Oh, and Gonzalo Perez does a Nigel Mansell dummy through on Ryan Senna. A Senna from Germany, who's now got João Itobarahi up the inside through towards the outside into Ferradura and La Regina. And the German stays ahead of the Brazilian at the moment, but João dives to the inside. You've got Max Shabley right behind them in the 007 car. And then there's Slowish from Poland, who started from the inside of the second row of the grid, is currently down in P7. Shade Bruffett now ahead of Jeff Groff, with Carson Keane rounding out your top 10 after the opening couple of laps. We're riding on board with João Itobarahi on the number 43 car. He's being chased by Max very, very closely as they come through Arquibacanderas, the bleachers through, and Shabley goes to the outside. Senna just in front of them. And Shabley goes and cuts the nose off of João Itobarahi through into the Senna S's and holds on to that 5th spot. But no! The German loses it through Curva the soul into Barahi, goes way, way, way too wide. Out of turn number 3. Oh, the cat has come amongst the Brazilian pigeons once again here, Mr. Cunningham.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he ran wide because of a reaction to that spin in front of him, which I believe it was. But yeah, he completed that pass, but he sure forgot to woe that car up going into the mess, and it took off on him. Look at this mess we got going right here.
Well, the thing was, I've just been looking at the feed because that's running at the same time as was what we're looking at live. Senna just turned in too much, and the left rear wheel hit the curb, bounced up, and caused the car to lose traction. And so thereby the German was spinning around, and that's dropped him all the way down to the 15th spot on the field. But meantime, there's Jeff Groff running in what looks to be a tribute to the Tom's Toyota livery, run by Kaz Nakajima and Andre Lotterer during their time in Super Formula, which Andre Lotterer was a big man, a big star in Japan before he moved into the World Endurance Championship, and then won 3 Le Mans 24 Hours with Marcel Fessler and Benoit Trullier. Had the opportunity, funnily enough, Andre was at the Monza Grand Prix the first week of this month, and I had the opportunity to have a nice little chat with him. Also, oh, this is really getting... Oh, dear. Bruffett is getting it. He's got the pit box manoeuvre right on him, and he's going to get hit on the left rear wheel, and Bruffett's...
Yeah, that was never going to work there at all. Here. Oh, my goodness. Alex, I fear that we have lost you. If you can still hear me, your internet seemed to have cut out there, but so we'll let you see if you can get that straightened out here while we actually, I'm gonna go back and look at that hot mess that just happened back there. This is earlier on that spin that we were talking about. Oh, he sure did get on the curb. Oh my goodness, he was lucky to get out of the way on that one. Stay with it. It was good. Smart. Yep, got you back now. There you go.
Yeah, just completely loaded that left rear through turn 3.
And this is
and then we've got this. Yeah, this is going to be Bruffett being turned around at turn 4, bang into the left rear, and around he goes.
Yeah, that was never
backwards,
and
I think there was. Yeah, I think he got a bit too much damage for not just the wheel, but maybe the suspension that connected to the rear axle. Carson Keane making some moves up the order. He's just got through on Jeff Groff, and that was for P8. So, yes, I am having some slight connection issues with my internet at the moment, so please bear with us, folks. We will keep this stream going. Bruffett has already been given the mechanical black flag, but he's already in pit road at the moment. But meantime, Gabriel Hopp is leading Elliott Court by about 1 1/4 seconds. Gonzalo Perez has moved his way up into P3. Max Shabili now up into P4 from 9th on the grid. So can the 007 make some moves forward? We're already on to lap 6 out of 31, and Gabriel Hopp has led every single lap so far, but there's all been a lot of chaos and carnage behind the Brazilian.
Yeah, that first 6 or 7 spots have kind of spread out there a little bit. You know, they've all got a second or more between them. They've kind of settled in, it seems like, up there. And but you drop back here in the 8th, 9th, 10th area, we got, well, for lack of a better term, we got a gaggle of cars back here running together.
Yes, it's like a flock of geese at the moment, to be honest with you. They're all flying in the same direction. But some have come under fire and had a little bit of damage as a result. So Carson Keane ahead of, looks like, I think he's teammates with Jeff Groff. You can see they've got very similar liveries, but Jeff Groff running with the white rims and Carson Keane running with the black rims, and a little bit of differential on the rear wing that you can see there. So I imagine those guys are probably teammates.
I like it with the white rims. I think that's a good looking car with the white rims on it.
One way for Christian Jasper to stand out a little bit behind teammate Jeff Groff, but they are still running pretty much in formation. They're about 0.6 of a second apart, but Gonzalo Perez is closing in on Elliott Court. Elliott made his debut a couple of seasons ago and did a part-time campaign. Good to see a lot of people watching along on the JP Broadcasting Network. If you haven't already, please like, share and subscribe and hit that notification bell, because there is going to be a lot more racing coming your way this week, which it does include the next round of the Tanzo Racing Group Clark St. James GT3 Championship that will head to its next round a little bit later on this evening at about close to 8 o'clock UK time tonight. But here we go, Dvornik versus Benjamin, and this is the battle for P15 through the Reta Aposta now into turns 4 and 5 at Interlagos, and then up the hill towards Ferradura and La Regina at turns 6 and 7. But things seem to be stabilising a little bit at the front, though, Jim. Yeah. However, from 8th backwards, things look to be a little bit more compact.
Yeah, they seem to have settled out up there and are just, turning some laps at this point. It looks like there's nobody pressing real hard. But, yeah, back here there's still some guys trying to make some moves. This one right here keeps heating up. That's that livery I loved so much early during the qualifying. That is a good-looking car right there.
Yeah, Royan Senna from Germany, who's used the push to pass. And, well, they get, I think it's 200 seconds of push to pass. And we've seen it before in sim racing for simpletons, where some drivers will use it for the last couple of laps of the race and absolutely exhaust their supply. Seeing that the number 7's car is currently recharging at the moment, so you only get a certain amount of use around the lap. But if it starts flashing like it is now, it means that the system is recharging. So next time that Royan Senna can cross the line, he will then get another opportunity to use that push to pass, which gives anywhere between an additional 50 to 60 extra horses under that right foot. But with the cars,
this is the it's supposed to be the push to pass feature here on our scoring tower. I'm just curious to see how it actually shows up here.
It's a bit of an interesting one, Jim, because it doesn't give you it in seconds. It gives there's an algorithm that iRacing came up with, and it doesn't show how many seconds. It just shows how much is left. And folks, when I tell you this, it is a 10-digit algorithm. So we're not going to worry about that. So don't worry about showing that to the folks at home. We will let them know once, but when we can get on board with somebody, I'll tell you what, let's have a full hot lap of Interlagos.
Sure.
With our man that we're currently with at the moment. They're saying, Brian Mazza, please do not start spamming the chat, please. They're wanting us to show Gonzalo Perez in 3rd position.
And we'll be happy to do that, but yeah, don't spam the chat for it, because that's surely
you will get. Believe you me, Mr. Mazza, you will get shadow banned. You'll be banned to the shadow realm. Crown with glory for Argentina, says Pargano. Pargano 6.
We will do the Perez thing this one time. As he's just starting off the lap down here, just coming out of the center assist, so this is a good spot. We'll just do that, and we'll stay with him. Okay. Well, I say we're going to stay with him. Let's go back to him. How about that?
There we go, with the halo in front view. So now through turn 5 out of Interlagos, and now it's going to be up the hill to Ferradura at turn 6. Now it's going to be 5th gear, hard on the brakes into Essay, down to 2nd, full lock, down to up to 3rd, now through in towards Bico Tapato, which is basically the Duck's Peak, down to 2nd gear, and then you get this nice little camera shot here, through into Mergulo at turn 11, and then up to Juncao at turn 12, before hard on the power between 12, 13, 14 and 15. So Subidas boxes on the right hand side. Now there is the Akibacandas, which is the bleachers, and across the line we're running on board with Gonzalo Pio Perez, the Argentinian, over the line. down the hill into the descent, left-hand camber through turn 1 and turn 2 at the center S's, before through at turn 3 at Curva de Sol, and there is a lap of Interlagos on board with our Argentinian friend. We're now currently on lap number 11 out of 31. And Gonzalo currently in P3, up 2 spots. Royan Senna is making a little bit of a comeback, not to be now the surname is Senna, which is not Senna, and it's spelt S-E-N-E-R, not S-E-N-N-A, for those people that know their motorsport, like myself and Jim. We've grown up in the same era.
Considering this was the home track of Ayrton, I think you know, this is you certainly identify him with this just from that heroic drive he had here with his only win that he had at Interlagos.
His only win where the car was stuck in 6th gear, and this was back in the day before John Barnard with Ferrari brought out the sequential semi-automatic paddle shift gearbox, which is now tour de force in Formula 1. Back then it was a 6-speed H-pattern gearbox. Gabriel Hopp has the fastest lap of the race, as Cole Willard has got Royan Senna to the outside at the center S's, and the German unable to facilitate a move past. Gabriel Hopp has the fastest lap of the race, and it's a 1 minute 15.329. He has nearly a 1.3 second lead as we are on lap 12 out of 31.
So Alex, if you would, for those that are a little less familiar possibly with the Super Formula car, so the little halo above their, not the halo, but the little ring above their head there, behind their head, that is indicating, explain to everyone what that indicates when it's lit up, not lit up, or flashing, and all of that, if you would.
When it's flat, well, normally with the Super Formula, if there's a sporadic flash between, like we're seeing with Rohan Senna at the moment, there'll be an activation phase, and I'm just with the flashing lights on there. There's actually, with regards to it, in terms of what they call it, it's an OTS. It's basically it's the Japanese version of push to pass, and the way that it works is that there's a system used to show on there when the OTS is in operation, the lights flash, but there's also an additional light at the rear of the car telling the driver behind in a battle if his or her opponent is using the button. So there's also a delay, so there's only a similar amount of usage that the drivers get, and once that is out, effectively the system will go red. But of course, this being the SF23, there has been a lot of evolution in the years with regards to the Super Formula cars. So that, in a nutshell, kind of explains how often it gets when it gets used. You will see the lights flashing, and then at least people will know. And sometimes with the way that technology is these days, Jim, especially in some respects, the drivers will have a display on not necessarily their HUD on their steering wheel, but normally on the HUD on the steering wheel itself if they're using the in-cockpit cam, where the steering wheel is actually part of their display. So we've got João Itabarahi versus Chris Sears. Neither of them using the push to pass. A perfect example of someone using the push to pass. Royan Senna. Let's see if we can get an onboard cockpit shot from the driver's perspective with him. Currently P12 at the moment, and his push to pass has been used because when they normally show it up on the dashboard displays inside the cockpit here on iRacing.
Thought I had it on cockpit.
So let's just stay with him at the moment. So when he activates the push to pass, sometimes you will see it will light up and then it will say how many seconds are left. Now he's not going to use it yet at the minute, mainly because of the fact he needs to start accelerating first, and then you'll get that activation point when he can use it. So he's coming out of turn 12 at Junkao, up through 13, through 14. And sometimes it can indicate on the dashboard display when it does show up. He's going range at the moment in 6th gear across the line. So this might give him another activation. Let's just keep on board with him at the moment. And through. Sometimes it will activate differently for different drivers. And it will normally be that purple flashing light on the left-hand side of the rev display on the top of the steering wheel. But at the moment, I can tell that he is not using his push to pass at certain points. He's not using it at the moment, but it depends on where they are around the circuit. You can see all the muck being flung in to the visor, and that's why you're seeing all these blotches when he goes past a certain point on the circuit. So more to the point, Ryan Senna is at some times using his push to pass. Gabriel Hop, Kostek Soloviev has also got quite a lot still left to go. So is Joao Itabarahi. Gabriel Hop has got quite a bit left as well.
Dr.
He's been in clear air.
Look, is that?
There we go. That's a perfect example. On board with Carson Keane, our resident Canadian doctor. He's got 130 seconds left. So that was a very, very good example. The entire display gets rid of the HUD information, which includes what lap you're on, your last lap time, what gear you're in, your best lap time. So there's a lot of information that we can see, not to the point of how much fuel is being used per lap, as in litres per lap, but that was a perfect example. Well caught there, Jim.
Well, I was using the graphic that we have on our scoring and timing, and I saw that his was moving, so I figured I would jump in there to see if that was it, and it was indeed. One of the things that I'm kind of surprised by is, see, like I can see who's using it now, like, for example, here.
Elliot Court, yeah, he's got plenty left. He's got a lot left there, and you can see it's counting down, and also there's a little bit of a scrolling bar at the bottom. Sim Racing for Simpletons. Now, is that Brian Long, the original founder of this series, saying, watch the Groff, Keane and Sears line. These guys have raced each other before for years. Yes, I know that. Somebody is going to send it. Laugh out loud emoji. Yes, you're definitely right on that, Brian. We've seen you do that over the years when you were very heavily involved. And there we go. Sears versus Keane. Round out of turn 3 at Curva de Sol. They are side by side. Well, that's Itabarahi versus Sears. And Sears has got a nose ahead going into Descida de Lago, but Itabarahi sends it deep, runs wide, way wide goes the Brazilian. And Itabarahi gets the slowdown penalty for his troubles. Oh, dearie me.
Yeah, he's struggling to keep it in the track limits right now, it looks like. And I tell you what, this is no place to start pushing the track limits. They are notorious for being tight here at Interlagos.
Yeah, Brian, allegedly. Yes, you did. You did send it a few times. And you had some pretty good, and he had some pretty good results as well when he was running with us. Of course, allegedly. Brian Long, the original founder of the Sim Racing for Simpletons, spent so many years building this league up, and now with 26 drivers having started this race, unfortunately, we have lost a few along the way. Frankie Brzezowski and Elliot Rolls on that lap 1 incident. Shade Bruffett out on lap 4 after contact, spinning him around and causing damage to the left rear of his Super Formula 23. But we're running on board with Joao Itabarahi, and it looks like he's got a Ferrari-style liveried helmet in that cockpit of his, and he's closing in on Chris Sears in the number 18. Chris Sears nearly bumps over the curbing through at turn 4. And now we've got somebody else in the pit lane. Asan Fay in the number 33 has dived into pit lane, I'm afraid, and is on their marks in pit road. But Chris Sears is now the cork in the bottle in 6th position, because look, Carson Keane and Jeff Groff are not that far behind. So it's become a 4-horse race for P6 with Chris Sears leading the way.
That's a good looking livery on that car if you get close up on it. Dr. Keane's car.
Oh, good old Carson. Yeah, the man who says he's going to be around for a full season. And due to him being actually a registered doctor, I can't remember what it's in, but his work does take him away from his love for sim racing when he wants to make those commitments. But Carson has got Jeff Groff to his outside, and look, you can see the heavy flashing indicates the push to pass, or the OTS system, the overtake system, being activated. And now whilst it recharges, it flashes quickly when they activate it. And there goes Joao Itabarahi towards the outside into Decido de Lago on Chris Sears. That is never going to work. I'm afraid that is never going to work at that point on the circuit unless you've got the OTS enabled.
And then you still got to find the grip to make it work.
That's true. That's very true, Jim. And these laps have definitely flown by. We're on lap 19 out of 31. Elliot Court is catching Gabriel Hopp and the Brits in the number 23 as the fastest lap of the race. Christian Jasper getting closed in on by Ryan Senna for 10th spot. So the German has been on the comeback trail.
Senna backed out of that. I think he thought he was fixing to get turned down on, and he let up on that a little bit. He had to move there, but I think he got a little timid. He figured this wasn't time to put his race at risk, so he backed out of that one.
Well, he definitely thought, I might as well not chance it. Use discretion as the better part of valor. Swings the car to the outside to carry it through at the first part of the center S's through Curva de Sol. Go the drivers now, and the German has the run on the American, and to the outside goes the number 7. It's going to be nip and tuck towards the Decido de Lago, and the German sends it round the outside, runs a little bit wide. Jasper back up the inside through turn 5, and now up to Ferradura they go once again. Senna is going to have the inside line towards La Regina, but Jasper tries to close it off. He's still to the outside as the American, but the German makes the move stick. Great stuff there by Rohan Senna.
Yeah, that was a really nice pass there. He stayed with it. Picked his moment, that was a really, really good job. You know, what's funny is early in this race, everybody had settled out and they were all kind of spread apart. And now we got battles everywhere. I mean, even up at the lead area, we've got, a reasonably close battle that they're tightening up on each other.
Elliot Court has set another new fastest lap of the race. He's the only one to dive underneath the 1:15s in this race. Who's that that's hit the wall in front? Who's that that's hit the wall? Oh, don't tell me that's Sarah Guerra in the number 21. That was the car that hit the wall. We're going to have a look at the replay. Through into Decido de Lago, loses it on the AstroTurf, and bang, goes the front wing. Oh dear, for Sada it's gone horribly wrong. And that front end is completely rearranged. It's had a bigger nose job than Kim Kardashian.
That's a true story, though. Yeah, that's rough there. I tell you what, that AstroTurf can. Sometimes it seems like it has a little grip, and then other times it is just like skating on ice out there. Oh,
definitely. And one of the big things that we're going to see is tire degradation over the course. This is a flat-out sprint every single time these drivers go racing. And nice point made, actually, by Brian Long, because I wanted to pick up on that. Tire deg is big with these cars, especially with the rears. We're going to see a lot of mistakes as we get towards the end of the race, and we are now 10 laps away from the race coming to its inevitable conclusion. Brian Long also says the following, Mr. Cunningham. Anthony Zitch has provided the liveries for Carson Keane, Gabriel Hopp himself, also for Sears and Frankie. He doesn't know who did Rohan Senna's livery, but it looks sexy.
It does look sexy.
And that was the one that caught you. That was the one that caught your attention, and you realised your mic was live. Good sir.
I did. Now, I mean, you know, look, you know how many races we do. We talked about this. I'm going to do in excess of 50 races this month. You know, I see a lot of liveries, and it's very rare that one actually gets me to react out loud when I don't even realize that I'm doing it. So yes, it definitely caught me off guard. So hats off to whoever did that livery, because it sure is good looking. As we drop back here to the battle for 12th and 13th.
Yeah, Anthony Zitch versus Cole Willard. And Cole trying to get into the slipstream and is trying to get through at the center S's. And Cole goes a little bit deep into the corner, nearly loses the back end. And this is because it's not in the kitchen. Pargon, I think you might want to keep your jokes to yourself, because I don't get that one at all. And if you're talking about Sarah, I'm sorry, it's not the right place to say it. Yes, yeah, it's a joke. Don't take it the wrong way. Ha ha ha. I won't take it the wrong way. I didn't get it in the first place, so...
Right, it wasn't that good.
It wasn't that good. It didn't really spring out to me.
No.
But you know what? I think the thing is that it doesn't matter what skill level these drivers are. Everyone is welcome in sim racing for simpletons. And that's the thing. I mean, Sarah has retired now from the race, unfortunately. And the number 21 after that big hit. But more to the point, it is the case of we are getting to the dying stages of this race. Cole Willard and Anthony Zitch, they are closing in on Christian Jasper just in front. And Cole Willard goes high, wide, and to the outside of Anthony Zitch, and he's got through. Great move there by the man from the USA. That was a brilliant move from the 24. Awesome stuff. Cole Willard got through on him.
I thought he was going to push out there and give it right back up, but he managed to hold on to it. So if Brian's still out there in the chat, I don't have a lot of experience driving these cars. They are power to weight ratios a little out of my league at this point. I have a heavy right foot, so but the tire deg on these cars compared to, like, say, a Super Formula Light, is it because of the extra power and just the fact that you're just that little bit of extra of burning the tires off because of the power, or is it due to weight over the rear tires, or what's the reason, if you would, for the additional tire deg on these cars? I'm assuming it's got to be probably power related.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, looking at from my experience, the Super Formula Lights are equivalent to the current, let's say, F3 car, whereas these are more like an Indy car. So you're going to have more traction, more torque going through the rear axle. So the rears are going to light up, and the minute you get it wrong, as we get now a move up the inside, Carson Keene has just been mugged by Rohan Sina from Germany. And that is a change for 8th position. But Carson Keene is right in the slipstream down the Retta Posta. And here goes Jeff Groff looking up the inside of Carson Keene into turn 4. That won't stick, I'm afraid. But yeah, coming back to what you were saying, are we able to see the laps remaining? Possibly. Well, we can only show you the laps as they are at the moment. But there are, including this one, there's going to be next time around, it's going to be 6 to go, JTS F1. But thank you for asking. Yeah, there's only so much information we can show.
Well, unfortunately, the way our software is set up is it shows the time and the current lap that it's on. So you would have to know that we are at, what's our total laps we're doing?
31. So 31. We've got five after this.
Yeah, so that's about the best we can do, unfortunately, the way this software is set up.
Oh, here we go. Brian's responded, and he said, wheel spin comes from corner exit, but you also lean heavy on those fat boys in the back. Also, the faster drivers are removing their brake bias rearward, so brake bias also can be shifted from front to rear in these cars. Now, they are on a fixed setup, courtesy of Tamas, so a big thank you to Tamas Setups for helping that out. And here we go. It's pushed to pass central. Jeff Groff to the outside of Carson Keene, down the Retta Aposta, and round the outside he goes at turn 4. Jeff Groff through on Carson Keene. That's a move and a change for 9th.
Yeah, that was a nice demonstration there of the push to pass as he drove it right around him using the push to pass, and also we got to see the lights in the little I keep wanting to call it a halo, but they call the thing that protects the driver a halo.
It's above the airbox.
Yeah, the ring above the airbox. Yeah. Yeah, I keep wanting to call it a halo for some reason, but I know that that's the term now used for the protection for the driver's head. So that's not an accurate example. Have you got a chance, speaking of that, have you got a chance to see the new Indy Next cars yet on iRacing? I have not myself.
Well, if it's the current generation, I'm sure they're going to look absolutely wonderful. I mean, also the fact is that with regards to the Indy cars themselves, for the NTT IndyCar series, of course, they're the only ones that use the aero screen technology that was considered along with the halo for Formula One. So Indy adopted the aero screen, and Formula One and all the feeder categories and everywhere else that did single seaters through a lot of homologation with the FIA decided with the halo. I think mainly for base. I think it just depends. With the aero screen, it looks pretty cool on a Dallara IndyCar vehicle, but I think in some respects the aerodynamics might be a little bit better. With you can add these little like canards and additional like little aerodynamic devices on the halos to add to the aerodynamic efficiency of the cars. But the halo has done so much. I mean, Zhou Guan Yu's incident at Silverstone after contact with George Russell, Charles Leclerc's incident.
How about
it saved
Lewis
lives.
Hamilton with Max Verstappen right over the top of his car?
Oh yes, Monza, yes, exactly. When they were battling for the title, and Max thought he had enough to go through. But this is a change. We've got a change for the lead. Gabriel Hopp. Oh, Elliot Court has got a black flag. Elliot Court for the DDK and Race Anywhere car has got a black flag.
What in the world is that for?
That could be hitting incident points, incident point limits.
It's the only thing it could be is incident limit. Yeah.
So that is going to mean that Gabriel Hopp is going to retake the lead because Elliott is going to have to do a drive-through penalty for that one.
He's not going to do it here.
And I'm afraid to say, there we go. Elliott, is he going to dive into pit lane this time? No, he's not. But if he does not pit before the checkered flag, as we've got 3 to go, it's going to DQ him from the session. He's got to serve that within 3 laps.
Yeah.
And he's going to hang that out for as long as possible, Jim, because he wants to minimize.
I mean, I feel like that's probably a mistake. If I were him, I would get it done now and give me a couple of laps to try to make up some ground. But I mean, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't in that situation, I think. But it's got to be incident limit. That's the only thing. There's no other, to my knowledge, there's no other way to pick up a black flag while on the track moving.
Yeah, exactly. But it is unfortunate at this late stage of the race. Elliott caught the race leader, and here goes Ryan Senna, and he's against Joao Itobarahi. They're going through out of turn 5 at the Interlagos. We've got, after this, 2 more laps remaining. We're on lap 29 out of 31, and it's Willard versus Jasper this time around. Willard looking to the inside at Ferradura and Interlagos. This time, Christian Jasper stays ahead at the moment in the 444 of the 24, and Elliott Court now dives into pit lane to serve his drive-through penalty. That is going to drop him off of the top 3, and that has denied the Brit the victory in the opening round of the season. So next time around, it's going to be 2 to go.
But you know what? This is, again, you come into Interlagos, you got to know that these incident limits are a factor here. Everyone knows how tough this track is on off tracks, and they pile up quickly, and so I mean, to me, that's just part of the race strategy here. You got to prevent yourself from accumulating those off tracks. Nothing, I mean, it's like to say, oh well, that's unfortunate, but I mean, again, when you see them stacking up, you gotta back off of it a little bit, because look what happened. He could have finished second pretty easily, and now he's going to be lucky to finish on the podium. I don't think he will.
No,
doesn't look like.
He's fourth at the moment. Royan Sinner about to run out of push to pass and has just exhausted it. Max Shabley has also done so. Gonzalo Perez, Kostik Slovij in P3 has also used up the push to pass, but Gabriel Hopp brings us on to the white flag lap here at round 1 and 9 for Sim Racing for Simpletons autumn season 2025, and through the Brazilian goes out of Curva de Sol for the 31st and final time as he flies his way down the Reta Posta. He still has put the OTS, or the push to pass, still to use. Rohan Stina has just received a black flag as well for incident points exceeded. That's an automatic drive-through penalty, and you'll have to serve it coming across the line.
If he crosses the line, I mean,
he's in the pit lane now. So he's serving it because he's only just crossed the stripe.
Okay, all right. So he's okay then. So he's gonna, because I believe that would be a huge time penalty if you tried to serve it on that last lap like that.
But we'll carry this conversation on in a second, because it is going to be victory. Muito parabéns on home soil. Gabriel Hopp from lights out to checkered flag wins on home soil at Interlagos for the opening round of the season. After 31 laps of racing, Gonzalo Perez hoists the flag high for Argentina in P2. And Cole Willard and Christian Jasper getting close to blows for the final spot in 10th place in the top 10. Kostik Solovij and Elliot Court ran out the top 4. Max Shabley takes P5. Joao Itabarahi will finish in 6th position. He crosses the line. Chris Sears in 7th. Jeff Groff will round out the top 8. Carson Keane in 9th. And Christian Jasper rounds out your top 10, followed by Cole Willard and Anthony Zitch, who crossed the stripe. And still a few more drivers. Rohan Sina from Germany will finish all the way down in 14th position after serving his drive-through penalty after the black flag. Torta Racing's Joshua Benjamin comes out of the final corner and will round out your top 15 finishers here at the opening round out of 9 for the Sim Racing for Simpletons Autumn Cup Autumn Season 2025.
Well, you could almost see the way Senna, I want to say Senna now, Senna stopped that car and immediately clicked out of the session. You know what I mean? Like, you could just tell he was completely frustrated with himself, having worked his way all the way back up after that disastrous start. And he was, in a pretty decent spot, and then ultimately just, cost himself. That was you could just see the frustration in the way he handled that. That was that he wasn't happy with himself. All right, let's get some results up here.
Yeah. Just to before I do that, Andres Nazi wasn't at 50 minutes. No, they are lap dependent, and they're pretty much the majority of what we would see for a Grand Prix for Formula One. So Gabriel Hopp takes the season opener here at round 1 of 9 at Interlagos, ahead of Gonzalo Perez. Kostek Solovij from Poland rounds out your overall top 3. Elliot Court, well, denied victory due to a black flag, finishes 4th ahead of Max Shabley, with Joao Itabarahi making it 2 Brazilians in the top 6. And then we have Chris Sears, Jeff Groff, Carson Keane, and Christian Jasper rounding out your top 10. Cole Willard, Anthony Zitch, Nick Dvornik, Royan Sina from Germany, and Joshua Benjamin rounding out the top 15. And it's Sergei Porok, Jace Mayer, Dakota Demajid rounding out the top 18. Leo Delmas and Matt Alfredson rounding out your top 20. Richard Danilewski out on lap 30. Asan Fay on lap 28. Sara Guerra out on lap 19. Shade Bruffett retired on lap 4 with Elliot Rolls, and Frankie Brzezowski unfortunately out on the opening lap with João de Gregorio not even taking the start. Well, folks, the thing is, we have our post-race interview show. So what we're going to do, first of all, we're going to speak to our respective top three. And without further ado, let's bring in our race winner, Parabéns, Gabriel Hop, winning on home soil at Interlagos for the first round of the season. How does that feel, my friend?
Oh, finally. Damn, I wanted to win this from like the 2 races ago that happened. I'm glad it finally did. I'm very happy. I don't know what to say.
It's kind of, Gabriel, it's kind of like you've become the Ayrton Senna of sim racing for simpletons. We've seen you denied at Interlagos, and now you've had a lights out to checkered flag victory, even though it could have happened. It could have been the case that Elliott might not have got that black flag penalty, but still, to finish first, you must finish. And you did exactly that, my friend. You must be absolutely over the moon because that is 30 points in the opening round of the season.
I'm very happy. I'm gonna try to keep the momentum. Yeah, Elliot was very, very fast. I'm a little glad he got the drive through, but not glad the way he did. He said he was net code. That's yeah, that happens. But yeah, I'm very happy I got the win.
Yeah, it's a great way to start off the season. Of course, we've got a fantastic calendar ahead of us because from Interlagos next week, we go to the road course at Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the Brickyard. How are you going to feel about that one, my friend?
Never raced there, but I think it's gonna be better than Interlagos because it's my home track. But I really don't can't get these corners right. So any other track, I think I'm gonna be a little better than this one.
Says the guy who qualified on the front row and won the race, but he can't get the corners right here.
Well, Gabriel, congratulations. Muito parabéns on the victory here at home soil at Interlagos. Before we let you go, would you like to give anybody a shout out to dedicate your victory to tonight?
Muito obrigado. I'd like to finally shout out Anthony, the owner of the league. He's the one that did this livery for me, and I wanted to thank him a long time now, but never got the win to do it. And I want to ask Brian, the previous owner, to go back and race some rounds with us.
Well, Gabriel, one final thought from me. Please keep that livery for the entirety of this autumn season because it looks fantastic. I think it's going to become your good luck charm in races to come this season, my friend.
Hey, Gabriel, one thing real quick. Sorry. If you would, since you are at your home track and you got to win at your home track, why don't you give us a little something, say something to people in your home language there, in case you've got any Portuguese speaking fans watching. Go ahead and do something in your home language before we let you go.
Okay, I think I can translate it after, but Chepo, eu queria falar contigo, meu. Eu ganhei hoje e eu vou te treinar e tu vai ficar tão bom quanto eu, cara. Tu vai correr nisso aqui comigo, velho. And translate is just I'm training a friend of mine that never sim raced, and little shout out to him. I think I'm gonna make him watch this later.
Oh well, that's a good one to watch.
Good stuff. Brilliant, Gabriel. Thanks so much for your time, and we wish you all the very best of luck when we come back for round 2 in a week's time at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Once again, congratulations on hitting victory lane on home soil here at Interlagos.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much.
So a big thank you to Gabriel Hop. Let's bring in our second place driver. 3 different nationalities on the podium, and our runner-up just so happens to also come from South America. We welcome Gonzalo Perez into the interview booth. Gonzalo, thank you very much for joining us. Started P5, finished on the runner-up step. How are you feeling?
Hey, Alex. Hello, everyone. Hello to all the broadcast. Yeah, I mean, was a very tough race. Honestly, I didn't feel any comfortable with the track conditions. I had a little bit of lockups on the front left over turn one, and yeah, that was like something unfortunate for over all the qualify. And then in the race, I was like, okay, I don't know if I can do it very well, so I'm gonna try to save my tires, keep the pace, and see if we can catch the guy in front. I was waiting for an opportunity if Gabriel and Elliot they crash or something. So yeah, I just wait for the opportunity and think of the points of the championship.
Well, also, along with picking up 24 points, you also pick up the fastest lap point for the race. So that puts you 5 points behind Gabriel going into round 2 at Indianapolis next week. So it seems like the game is afoot, my friend. To be honest with you, I think it was a really good that you kept that consistency, kept the lap times coming in. And as you said, saving the tires, it really helps you in the latter stages of the race. Do you want to say anything to anyone from your nation in Argentina that is watching in your own language, just to say something to them out there?
Oh yeah, for sure, Alex. If you send me 1 minute to say something in Spanish to my friends,
Go
that
for
would be
it.
great. Okay. Bueno chicos, gracias a todos por ver, gracias pibes, los quiero mucho. Gracias mamá, gracias papá. No sé si está viendo mi novia, Lani, te amo. Chicos, los quiero mucho, vamos, guacho, vamos los pibes.
You don't
Okay,
have to
guys.
speak Spanish to know what he just said. That's great.
Well, it was definitely very, very emotional. But Gonzalo, congratulations on picking up the runner-up position on the podium. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Oh no, man! I mean, it was a very clean race, and at least for me, just keeping the pace, saving OTS. So yeah, I mean, was a little bit of driving around. So
Well,
yeah,
Gonzalo, congratulations on picking up not only second place, but the fastest lap of the race here with a 1 minute 14.564. We'll see you next week at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Well done tonight.
goodbye, guys. And I want to say thank you to Max Shavely, my teammate who gave me the pressure to come back into the simulator again.
Fantastic. Gonzalo, we'll see you in 7 days' time. Well done tonight.
Goodbye.
So, Gonzalo Perez, our runner-up, but we have one final interview, and it's all the way from Europe. Let's bring in the man. I know I'm not too sure how to say your surname, Kostek, but congratulations. Final step on the podium. Well done.
Yeah, thanks. My last name is Solove, so get used to it.
Right. Now we know for future reference, because I was constantly getting it wrong. But still, you qualified P3. It was a bit of an up and down race for a lot of people. We did see you drop down a couple of places, but you managed to fight your way back. It is a bit of a difficult circuit to master here at Interlagos, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's even harder when very small mistakes, like the start, is going to decide so much in the outcome of this whole race. It was very hard, honestly, to keep up and to be all the time on the limit.
But next week we head to round 2 at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. How do you think you're going to get on there then, Kostek?
Great. I hope it's going to be the same performance.
Brilliant. As we've afforded this opportunity to our top 2, is if you'd like to say anyone in Poland that might be watching, I know it's about 3 o'clock in the morning, but I'm sure there's a couple of friends or maybe some people that you know that are watching. So take your time, say something in Polish to those that have been watching long on the stream here on the JP Broadcasting Network.
There's going to be no Polish, but thanks to Fury Simsport, Abruzzi, and Howdy Gregorio for the skill, the sweat on the track, obviously. thanks to all of those people, and thanks to all of those fast guys, because they mean, I think, a lot. I think this is going to be a competitive league. So yeah, thanks a lot.
Alex, did we lose you again? We might have lost Alex's internet again. Well, again, thank you for coming to chat with us, and this might be a good time to wrap it up, since we seem to have lost Alex. So I'm not near as good as wrapping it up as he is, but we appreciate you for stopping in this week and enjoying the series with us, and we'll see you next week in 7 days' time from Indianapolis. And so thank you for joining, and we'll see you next week.